All right, I've got another interesting antique find. This is another inkwell that we discovered while we were out. Didn't have the sense to buy the one that I saw in the store, and so then I wound up buying this one on eBay. But it was kind of a cool thing to try to figure out what was going on with just the company itself and how it goes. That fancy one that I had the other day that's inside the wood. I still don't know who made this thing. It's still super cool, but yeah, this one is made by a company called Esterbrook, and they were pretty big back in the early 20th century, and they came up with this concept here. This was part of a inking system they called the dip-less system. Now, it doesn't mean that it does not have a dip, that you don't dip. It means that you dip less than you would if you were dipping with a conventional type of setup. And basically what they had is they had a fountain pen that was like, well, not a fountain pen, it's actually a dip pen. So instead of having, here, I'll just pull this one out here. Instead of having, you know, just the nib like this that you would dip into the ink and then write with it, it actually had a feed on the bottom of their dip pen, and so it sat inside this holder all the time. And the cool thing about this holder is that this inkwell here on the top, you can kind of see the ink sloshing around in there. It's actually going down through this bottle is actually upside down, and it's going down through the cap. There's a hole in the cap that allows the ink to run across the bottom here and into the reservoir under where the dip pen goes. And so the pen just sits there all the time. And these were really popular in situations where there was a lot of writing going on, you know, accounting desks and things like that, or you know, notary public or somebody that was going to have a pen used really often. Also, you know, bank tellers and things like that. They made actually a special one like this that that this one's kind of a brown bakelite color, but they made a shiny black, piano black type one that would be on the desk at a bank, and they even had the chain on it, you know, to go from the unit to the pen so that you can't walk away with the pen. Anyway, when I bought this one, I was able to win it at auction, and it was, you know, very reasonable. But it did not come with a pen, and so I'm still kind of looking for one of the pens that matches this setup. But in the meantime, I decided to make one. So, as I do, folded pens being my thing, I made one. I made this folding pen here that's particularly, what would you say, kind of narrow, more narrow than usual, kind of more in the shape of a standard dipping type of nib. You can see how it's open at the bottom like that. And so basically I just designed it so that this will go, you know, into the reservoir and just kind of stay there until I'm ready to use it. And then when I pull it out and give it a go, it's interesting because it inks it up just the perfect amount. Can you see that? Just inks up just the end of it, just enough. So then you can write however you like. You can write up on the tip and get really thin. You can also go way down onto the side to get the big thick strokes. And you know, well, you can't even see all that. Sorry about that. Let me move it up here. Because it's a folded pen, you know, like I like to do, you still have the ability to write up on the tip and get thinner strokes, and write on the side and get thicker strokes. So it's just awesome like that. But having fun so far, and thought I'd share it with you. That's my Esterbrook Dip-Less inkwell, Dip-Less inkwell, and hoping to find a pen for it someday. Talk to y'all later.